How's everybody doing? My name is Efren Johnson, and I'm back with part 3 of my 2010-2011 NBA Power Rankings, the top 16 that ESPN has ranked as their top 16 power best teams in the league, basically. We're gonna start off with 12 with the Phoenix Suns. Um, Suns, they, I think they, I think they took the biggest hit this year. Well, no, not the biggest hit. I'll probably say the second biggest hit this year, during the offseason by losing Amari Stoudemire. Last year they went like 54-28, something like that. I don't see them doing that this year. Honestly, they'd be very lucky to be over 500 at the end of this season. Um, but I was looking at a lot of the statistics on ESPN, and offensive wise and rebounding wise, they were in the top five in almost everything. They're first in scoring. They were sixth in rebound, excuse me, and they were fourth in assists. Steve Nash loves to get out on a break and pass, loves to penetrate and pass. The thing that really bothers me, well, it doesn't. It's not something that's surprising, but it's something that does bother me. The amount of points that they allowed. Last year, they were scoring 110 points, but they were giving up 105. And this year, losing to Stoudemire, that's 20 points right there gone. So you guys can do the math on there. They're going to have to do something. Either they're going to have to step up the offensive end kind of big with, two or three players, or they're going to have to step their defense up dramatically, because if not, they will find themselves not making the playoffs this year. And honestly, I really don't think they will make the playoffs. I think if they do make the playoffs, it'll be the eighth seed, but I think that I really don't think they're going to make it this year. But you never know. Steve Nash is still on the team. He's still probably the best passer in the league, and he can penetrate and dish. I think a lot of teams are going to really have to let him do a lot of scoring this year, because I'd much rather have Steve Nash go to the basket and shoot a layup than to have him kick it out to a 3-point shooter for a wide open three and make it. 2 points to me, if I'm playing defense, is better than giving up 3 points. So I think you'll see a lot of teams correct themselves with that. Um, you know, really looking at their roster, their rebounding and things are probably going to go down. They did get a good addition with Turkoglu, also Childress, and Hakeem Warwick. Um, Turkoglu, he can be a good addition, but I feel like he needs the ball in his hands to really be effective. Much like he did when he was with Orlando. Him and Dwight Howard ran pick and roll all the time, and they ate teams up. This year, he could do the same thing with Fry. He's a guy that can shoot. Um, I just don't know if this is the right fit for him this year. But we will definitely find out. Josh Childress, he played overseas last year, so we didn't get to see him play last year. But looking at his previous seasons in the NBA, he's a very solid player. He can knock down jump shots, and I think the most important thing that he can do is he can defend on the perimeter. So he can defend, your big two or your three that you have on your team very well. Hakeem Ward, he's a high flyer, a guy that's definitely will get you a lot of putbacks, will give you hustle plays, and he will, on the defensive end, he'll block a lot of shots as well. Depending on how much time he hit. And of course, Dragic, I mean, he really showed himself, last year in the playoffs against the Lakers, and and uh, and against the Spurs as well. So there's there's a lot of things that that the Suns can kind of look forward to, but I just really don't think they're gonna win the amount of games that they won last year. Like I said, I'd be very lucky. It'd be very lucky for them to get like that seventh or eighth seed in the West. If they do that, I believe that would be a great season for them. You know, Looking at what they lost. Um, Steve Nash still, to me, one of the best passers in the game. Jason Richardson, his jump shot has really come along. When he first came in the league, all he could do was jump and dunk. But his jump shot is really coming along. Grant Hill has really, revived himself, so to speak. I'm happy he's doing well. Fry, we all know what he can do. He's going to sit outside. He's going to knock down threes. Lopez, I think he's another Anderson Varejao. He's gonna play good defense. He's gonna get you hustle plays. He's gonna rebound, and he's going to defend the post and block shots. So that'll be something good. Maybe their defense will go up a little bit this year. I don't know if they're going to score 110 points again this year. Maybe in the hundreds, but I don't know about 110. That's a lot of points for this team. For a team that just lost an All-Star. Next at 11th is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, I was looking at their stats too, and it was kind of surprising because they won 50 games last year, but points wise they were 21st, rebounding they were 26, assists they were 21. The one thing that really jumped out to me was the fact that they were third in points allowed, and I didn't know that they played good defense like that last year at all. But I live on the East Coast, so I really didn't get to see a lot of their games until playoff time, and when they come on TNT and NBA TV from time to time. But Brandon Roy's back. It looks to me that he's fully healthy. He's one of the best two guards in the league, hands down. He can score the ball, he can pass the ball, he can do everything that you need a two guard to do on the floor. And one thing I think that a lot of people don't give him credit for is his defense. I think he plays very good defense as well. LaMarcus Aldridge, to me, I think he's one of the best power forwards in the NBA. And it's funny because you never hear anything about him. You never really hear his name pop up as being one of the best players in our league. To me, I believe that he's one of the best players in the league. The thing is, he just flies under the radar a lot. But teams know when they play the Portland Trailblazers, I bet that they circle his name on the board and say, hey, we got to contain him too, other than Brandon Roy. Marcus Camby, we know what he's going to be able to do. He's been doing it his whole career since he came to the league in '96. Block shots and grab rebounds. That's what he's going to do. I think the key for them this year, I really think Greg Oden needs to have a solid basketball season. He needs to play like the way he played like maybe a month or two before he got his injury last year, because I really saw him coming into his game and he looked good. He looked good out there on the floor. And it's a shame that the injury causes him to miss the rest of the season. That's a big blow to them as well, because the West still have a lot of big men, and you need big men on the floor to guard other big men. That's just how it is. Even if they just put him out there for defensive purposes, that'd be something big for them as well. Really, they didn't lose anybody. I think they lost Webster, but they replaced him with Matthews from Utah. Basically, they did a swap. Basically, that's what happened. Rudy Fernandez, I really hope that they hold on to him. I know I heard some talk about them wanting to give him up or something like that. I think that they should keep him, because if something does happen to Brandon Roy again, I pray to God it doesn't, he's a good guy to come off the bench and really back him up. Even when you take Roy out the game for a rest, I think he's a good player to have on your bench to bring in, because he can still score. I think when he gets in the game and really gets into the flow, he's a very good scorer. He can shoot. He's very athletic. He gets out on the break. He loves. I've seen him dunk on a couple people too. I'm sure you guys have too. So I really hope that they keep him, because I feel like they need it. I think they're going to need him, because really they don't have any other two guards. Really, Bayless to me is not really a two guard. He's a one. But Portland, I think they're going to finish somewhere around where they finished last year. I mean, they went 50 and 32, and I think they'll finish around that again this year. Like I said, I think they'll be between that 5 seed and 7 seed out west. Probably more like a 6 seed or a 7 seed maybe. 5 is giving them a little too much right there, I think. But I think they did a very good job last year with all the injuries that they had to finish, with 50 wins. I think that was phenomenal. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Please tune in tomorrow, and I'll give you part 4 of this. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. It's @agent_E Johnson. And also subscribe to my YouTube too, and leave me any questions that you have, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can, give you my opinion on it. Thank you guys. Peace.